The sun rises in the east. The birds are chirping. It's a day everyone comes together to enjoy as a community. For those, it's a sight unmatched by anything. For others, it's a sight that they wish they didn't have to witness. For BK, it's just pure entertainment. He watched as the crowd slowly rolled into the stands. They were so packed. They were squeezed into standing in lines outside the grounds. He knew this was going to be a day everyone wanted to see live, but he didn't think people would be fighting just to be able to hear the microphone better. BK turned around and took a deep breath. He tried to soak everything in, but it was so much he needed 2 more tries. He took a sip of water and took one last deep breath. He turned around and said aloud, "It's showtime." Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the first ever 942 Crew Hunger Games, BK yells to the crowd maniacally. The crowd roars in excitement. The game maker looks on and basks in his glory. He can go on and on about what an honor it would be to run such a spectacle, or how this was the only way for society to not only survive, but thrive. But BK isn't that noble, nor does he care to be. No, BK only cares about the money, the power, and most of all, the attention. So, without further ado, let's meet our contestants. BK roars as the crowd cheers. We begin with a duo that are so similar to each other, you'd think they were related in some sort. Father and daughter, brother and sister, hell, maybe even clones. I present to you from District 1, the Game Experience Committee Chairs, LB Silver and Catherine and Tuna. The crowd was now louder than it had ever been before. They knew the names, but they were now able to put them to faces. LB and Catherine didn't know how they got to this point. The last thing they remember was a Zoom meeting 3 days prior. The crowd didn't care. They want to see carnage. They want to see death, and they did not care whose feelings they were hurting in the process. LB and Catherine looked around to try to figure out a way to get out of this situation, but they were taken into a dark room before they could find a way to escape. We now give you our contestants from District 2. These 2 ladies make everything look pretty for the brand, but now we're hoping they make the arena bloody as hell. I present to you the design committee chairs, Jessica Hollick and Mackenzie Woods. Much like their counterparts in District 1, Jess and Kenzie looked around, dazed and confused. They couldn't hear anything due to the noise of the crowd, but they were both able to see a figure standing high atop a balcony in front of them. Is that BK? The girls said simultaneously before they were quickly ushered away. Both girls looked at each other, stunned, confused, and betrayed. They both tried to absorb as much as they could before the darkness consumed their vision. Next up, we have the ladies that help get the word out. We have the ladies that control the group that annoys you greatly, and you better take their damn flyers. From District 3, I present to you the marketing committee chairs, Hannah Chismar and Grace Michael. The ovation from the crowd only seemed to be getting louder, BK sensed. Good, he thought. Now people will start listening to my authority seriously because they now know they could be next. He looked down at the District 3 chariot and could see Hannah yell and try to get his attention, but with the decibel level at an all-time high, he could hear nothing coming from her mouth. BK let out a sinister smirk, knowing that these contestants were more helpless than they even know. Next up, we have the loudest of the loud, the craziest of the crazy, the hypest of the hype. These gentlemen have gotten you loud and hype before, and they'll do it again. From District 4, I present to you the student section leading committee chairs, Alec, Urban, and Sebastião Valle de Gato. BK watched as the crowd went crazy for District 4. Nothing new to him. This was Scruffy and Seb's jobs before, so they knew they'd be able to deliver again. He looked down at the 2 contestants, neither of them waving or looking around puzzled. They were both staring BK down, almost expressionless. Maybe not the reaction BK was looking for, but he enjoyed it nonetheless. He watched them stare him down until they couldn't see him any longer. BK thought that both of them needed to die for him to feel truly safe after the games concluded. But as he continued to think, he realized he didn't feel threatened by either of them. And he thought neither of them were going to make it out anyways, which caused a slight chuckle from BK before revealing the next duo. Next up, we have the team that makes the skits, the team that keeps the brand going and keeps the crowd oohing and awing and the new things. From District 5, I present to you the Curtain and Distraction Committee Chairs, Jacob Hunsaker and Tegan Patton. This was the loudest response from the crowd yet. With everyone knowing what the Curtain and Distraction was, the crowd felt obligated to express their love to the thing that helped build the 942 crew. BK felt accomplished that the Curtain, 8 years old and probably past its heyday, was still beloved by all. Next up, we have the two leaders of their committees without junior chairs, the lady that helps rope people in and the lady that helps stir the pot on Twitter. From District 6, I present to you the recruiting committee chair, Julianne Wild, and the social media committee chair, Lucy Wakefield. At this point, it was hard to tell if the crowd was getting louder or not. BK assumed so, considering they definitely weren't getting quieter. He looked at the clock and thought maybe they were getting anxious and or eager for the start of the games later tonight. While District 7 isn't technically a real committee, they are honorary members of the committee meetings. We have the man behind the camera making sure the woman in front of the camera looks and sounds great. I present to you from the honorary 942 Crew Podcast Committee, RJ, Javangula, and Shrestha Chermala. The District 7 chariot was a sight to behold. Both members looked around screaming for help. Why are we here? And what did I do to deserve this? Were the only ones BK heard, but he ignored it. He enjoyed a little chaos. He was also a little too excited for the next two districts to be announced to care what was happening below. Let me tell you how excited I am to introduce to you these next two districts. First up, we have the duo from District 8, who are pretty good, but not as good as District 9. Oops, spoiler alert. I present to you my current interns, Connor McKee and Heather Udowich. If you were to ask those in the stands how they feel if their boss threw them into the fire like BK did, you get a lot of people who think they would feel betrayed. If you ask those in the District 8 chariot yourself, they just tell you it's par for the course. And next, I introduce the better, the funnier, the more enjoyable to be around District 9. I present to you my former interns, Joey Palomares and Marissa Sealhammer. A similar sight was seen in the District 9 chariot, shaking their heads and just trying to accept the fact of what BK just did. Once again, they tell you it's par for the course, but they were just wondering if it really needed to go this far. The crowd then stopped cheering and started murmuring. BK had just gone through each duo of contestants he possibly could have. Everyone involved in the upper echelon of 942 had been selected, but there were still 3 more districts to be announced. Who could BK have possibly gotten to participate in the games? These next few districts I have brought along to shed some light on the diversity of the 942 Crew Executive Board and all the wonderful people that work hard into making the brand what it is today. I want to give more attention to 6 people that I believe deserve the attention that comes with being a part of these games. The fans stopped murmuring and started hooting and hollering. They could get overboard with that. Next up, this couple has quickly ascended to the top of the 942 couple leaderboards, past Marissa and Benji, past Joey and Nat, past Jess and Scruffy. I present you from District 10, the 942 Crew, power couple of the century, Frank Hernandez and Kristen McComas. A power couple? The crowd could definitely get on board with that. They might kill everyone tonight if they're that connected, but after the crowd got a look at them, they started to split. Arguments about District 10 winning turned into whether they even last a day. Others were saying they die within the hour. There were still people who thought they would have what it took to win the whole thing. Those were probably the people who bet to District 10 to win before seeing the contestants. Good luck trying to validate losing that money. Actually, good luck trying to validate betting money on the games at all. What's wrong with you, sickos? Next up, we have 2 gentlemen that are very passionate about their sports to the point where they have awful takes. I present to you from District 11, Colin Perrone and Ian Cohen. Boos rained down from the crowd as flying objects were hurled towards the District 11 chariot. BK had to put an end to that quickly. He didn't want his contestants to die before the games even began. People, settle down. Enough with the boos. You should be cheering along with the other 10 districts you cheer for. You should especially be cheering because these 2 people are probably going to die. So start cheering. And as expected, so came the cheers. Louder and louder they became. Before they could become the loudest cheers up to this point, the chariot disappeared into the blackness. And finally, we have the famous or infamous District 12. This district will not be like District 12 from the original creation of the Hunger Games. I can guarantee you that. These 2 are 2 of the most well-known members of the executive board for all the wrong reasons. I present to you the Promised Land team, Debbie Dennis and Giggles the cat. The crowd exploded. The Promised Land team was everyone's underdog district, and they couldn't wait to see what that team had in store in the games. The District 12 chariot took a turn to the left instead of the right and stopped in front of BK's perch. All other chariots came out from the darkness and nestled themselves in order from District 1 to 12 for all the fans to see. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how about one final applause for our contestants? BK bellowed. The crowd responded with a loud hurrah. It was almost that time. Thank you, contestants, for your willingness to participate in these games. BK said before I interrupted. We didn't choose to be here. We were forced here, yelled Joey from District 9. A guard came over and slapped Joey in the face. The crowd laughed. What was that for? Don't interrupt me. Thanks, Ricardo. BK saluted his guard, who tilted his head in acknowledgement. As I was saying, I couldn't be prouder of the work my associates did to help put these games together for the whole community to enjoy. In 12 hours, the 24 of you will be put into the battle arena where each and every one of you will have the same goal. Stay alive. The last one living wins a special induction into the 942 Crew Hall of Fame. Everyone else, well, we'll make sure to pay tribute to you at the end of the games. The contestants, all friends and acquaintances with each other, all had the same expression on their faces. The prize of surviving isn't being an inductee to the Hall of Fame, it was staying alive. For the next 6 hours, you will be fitted with armor and weapons to help prolong your experience in the arena before the final feast. That is when you'll say your final goodbyes to your family, friends, and contestants. Then it's strategy time. You will need to figure out how to survive, when to hide and when to kill, when to team up and when to betray. After that time, you will be transported to the arena. And then we will watch. We will be rooting for you. We will be rooting against you. We will be rooting for drama, for rage, for bloodshed. And you all will be there until one of you is left standing. The crowd started to prematurely cheer before the end of BK's beginning speech. BK had to calm the crowd down before he could continue. Make 942 proud. Make Sun Devil Athletics proud. Make your districts proud. Make us all proud. A drum started beating, slowly crescendoing until it stopped suddenly. Good luck, and may the odds be ever in your favor.